Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Today we're going to be talking about the Bulleit Bourbon Limited Release 10-year. So, the Bulleit 10-year limited release is exactly that. You know, they make it every year, but they only make so many of them. I personally had a little bit of a hard time finding it. I went to a few different places, called around, finally found it in a place, I live in Massachusetts, and this place in Westboro called Julio's Liquors had it. So it was about $45. I've seen it online from like 32 to 50. You know, some people apparently charge way too much for this. But went and picked up a bottle, wanted to do a review on this, and most of them actually don't come with the box, so that was kind of cool. Inside the box, there's a sheet of paper here, which is pretty much just everything that's on the outside of the box. There was one cool story on here, which I thought was neat. So the founder, Tom Bulleit, he says his wife Betsy is descended from her namesake Elizabeth Calloway, who was kidnapped during the Revolutionary War outside of Fort Boonesborough in 1776, and later married one of her rescuers. The marriage ceremony, the first ever performed in Kentucky, was officiated by her uncle and Justice of the Peace, Daniel Boone. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know, my personal history is not quite that exciting. My family came over on the Mayflower, but that's about it. Anyway, back to the whiskey here. So for the extra price, one of the normal 750 milliliter bottles of this costs about $25. This was about $45, so a bit higher price point, almost twice. If you go ahead and pour yourself a bottle, we'll talk about it here. So, pouring it into my bourbon glass. So go ahead and give it a nose and see what you think. Now to me personally, this smells a lot like the Jack Daniel's single barrel. There's just not a whole lot of complexity to it. It's very much oak. You can definitely smell that. And you do get a little bit of the rye, more so than you ever would in the single barrel, as that's pretty much none. But anyway, the nose is not very complicated. But go ahead and take a take a taste, and let's discuss it. So, there's definitely a little bit of a bite in the back of your throat. But aside from that, I don't know. Personally, this has to be aged about 4 years or so. This one is aged 10. I don't think that was time well spent. I think that they kind of traded some of the traditional notes that a bourbon usually has for a bit more of a full oak flavor and a little bit more rye. It's definitely makes it a little bit more unique. I personally don't love it. I would suggest going with the regular bourbon. The regular Bulleit bourbon instead of the 10-year if you had to make a choice. But you know what? Go to a bar, order one of each. They'll probably have both on on their shelf. Make a decision for yourself. I would suggest against spending the $45 on this though. Anyway. So that about does it for this episode. And if you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. And on the next episode, I'll be reviewing the rye. See you then.